clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to be. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page lies, it's about to be. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. There'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. We are not Monday. It's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Oh my goodness, the day after a long weekend, huh? Sluggish, Kitchen says, right? Everybody's down a little bit. Agwa's got some cool looking little gifts there. I don't even know we could do gifts. Fireworks smoke. Yeah, our neighbors had a big one last night here at the house. I felt so guilty watching everybody else's fireworks. We have like 4 houses that just go incredibly all out. And my $200 don't even make a dent in their fireworks. So I'm thinking, I'll just watch theirs. Anyway, so hey, good morning. Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend. This is a Daily Brew. We're going to talk weather. So we had the dog. We alternate dogs. And I look back. Friday we had Louie. So today's Hunter. And actually, Louie ran away when he heard the song. I don't think he wanted to go on TV today. So today is all about Hunter. Hunter will be the start of our show. But yeah, it is our Daily Brew. We talk weather all year long. And whatever else shenanigans pop up. Went live a few times this weekend. We storm chased in a golf cart. I'm not sure you saw that or not. But I was on the loose. We had some pretty whopper storms down at Lake Wales. One thing about the storms in the middle of the state, they don't move. They just sit right on top of you. And it took like 4 hours to rain itself out. One thing about living here on the coast, you usually get the sea breeze and they kick in and slide back to the west from the middle of the state. So different weather pattern over there. Right? Mary Hernandez, good morning. Richard Reamer, what's up, Scott? JD. So we're streaming live on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Glad you could join us. Good morning, James Hogue. I wish I got your name right, Hogue. Mary Krause, good morning. Shelly, of course, good morning. Yeah, so we got a little bit to talk about, I guess. So Colin popped up over the weekend. That was something else. We'll get into all that for sure. But get some more hellos in. Louisa, good morning. Met a lot of great fans, by the way, at the resort at Canopy Oaks. That's where we were at. Lots of followers. Unbelievable. Everywhere we went, we had weather fans. It was really fun. Good morning, Doug. Hey, cool, James. I forget which version. What's up, Lisa, Miss Yellow Dot Girl? Good morning, Bobby. Aspen, Ziegler. Hope everybody got the fireworks in, by the way. I know it was raining a little bit here. I think it all petered out by dusk. I didn't see anybody from Safety Harbor. They usually have a big one. Hopefully they got it in. Good morning, Julie. Agua, he's snoring a little bit. Oh my goodness. All right, so I got a few things to talk about. I always started wondering what the heck weather we can talk about. Tropics are quiet. Colin popped up over the weekend. That was very interesting. Friday before I left had a lot of spinach. And man, Colin came and gone so quick. I had people that were writing on there, whatever happened to the B name? Bonnie. Bonnie crossed over into the Pacific and now is in the Pacific. It was not an Agatha turned Alex. Agatha, this has been the year of the crossovers. Agatha crossed over and the remnants formed Alex. And then we had Bonnie just cross over back the other way. We had Colin that started over land. So, what a wild season, huh? 3 name systems all have a weird story. Alex crossed over from the Pacific that was once Agatha. Bonnie was the longest PTC ever. It was like 400 days of tracking Bonnie as a PTC as it skirted along South America. Finally got over some open waters and became Bonnie and crossed over now is in the Pacific. And then Colin basically was over land. Colin, it was the first true land cane over the weekend. And definitely had a lot of people reporting in along South Carolina, North Carolina. Got some pretty rocky, squally weather, a lot of wind, a lot of waves. Luckily, it was here and gone. And we were talking about that way early. So there you go. So weird storms, let her read. Yep, 3 storms, 3 weird ones already. Weird day. What's up, Brian from Key West? So anyway, so as Hunter would tell everybody, he can't talk, but our daily brew, of course, is brought to you by our good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida, and 4 years of supporting Mike's Weather Page. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully you were able to visit them over the holiday weekend, and we appreciate them. 85 years young, just like my old man dad. So big thanks to them. So all right, let's get into it. Hunter, I can hold you all day, buddy. They love going camping, by the way. As soon as we opened that door, both dogs ran out, man. They knew something was up. They just could not wait to get away. Right, buddy? They did good last night in the fireworks, too. They didn't really care too much. They're pretty used to thunderstorms and all that big noise stuff, right, buddy? You say goodbye-bye? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. By the way, he's only 8 pounds. Look at little guy. Super dog. 8 pounds. Little guy. Little guy. All right. Well, let's go to the tropics map. And we'll drink some coffee. We'll have a social together. That's what we do during trivia. They do a social, they call it, where everybody does cheers. Of course, I got my Mathnasium cup. Thank you to them for making Emily smarter. Emily will be smarter than me one day. I could barely even add without the aid of a calculator. So we got nothing in the tropics, all right? So here's what we got. So I posted this earlier. Let's show you this real quick. This is a good little graphic. We got some weather to talk about today, too. Let's talk about the tropics real quick. Then we'll talk about the weather. Oh, hey, look. I saved this, by the way. Look at this. So it always cracks me up. The start of summer, you start getting Spirit Halloween emails. Like every day. So I got this one today. So if it's like Halloween is 4 months away almost, and I don't know if you get them either, but Spirit Halloween always makes me laugh because I get a Spirit Halloween email. So I saved that one to show everybody, kind of laugh a little bit. There's some stuff here I wanted to show, but I'm gonna wait. So here's the other thing I posted earlier today. This is our ensemble map. Let me just pull this up. So look, tropics are quiet. Boom. Why did that thing go to a new window? That's all right. So there you go. This is your main, they call this the main development region, MDR. MDR. And there's Zippo. Zippo, 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 Zippo. This is only the Euro. Euro didn't pick up on Colin. Well, it kind of did, I guess. Oh, it did 100%. What am I talking about? It didn't pick up on tropical formation, but it did pick up on the 850 vorticity spin that we picked up on early going. So the Euro did very good with Colin. But anyway, so there you go. Tropics map. The nothing's showing. Doesn't mean it can't change tomorrow, but that's it. As far as the way it looks, here is leftover. So here's that leftover juice here. This kind of fizzled out. This is that line that they originally had 30% at one time. I couldn't believe it. But it went down to 10, and there's just a little bit left, kind of like just kind of pushed itself along our big Atlantic high. A lot of wind shear. So this is not a lot. I mean, there's some juice down there. A lot of our friends down in the islands and Hispaniola, Puerto Rico got some rain over the weekend from our little tropical wave, but just not happening. So there's that. Maybe this wave here kind of, coming off of Africa, maybe, but it just this right now there's just not a lot of anything. A lot of wind shear, especially through this area right here this time of year. We always get this lull in July, it seems like. We get a little startup early in May and June, and then we get this little lull. Very common. It gives everything a chance to warm up. And, dust is pretty heavy right now. Here's a great dust map from my Fox Hurricane, but you can see the dust. Not the best conditions right now on the planet for tropical development. July and Christmas. But, hey, John Ferguson, what's up? Mary Hernandez, good morning. Yeah, Paula said she's good with nothing. But doesn't mean you can't change, that's for sure. It's just a week here. Now, why? Because there's a couple things. Let me show you a couple things. So here's the chitter chatter. Let me find out where my graphics are. PBS timing. What is this one? Oh, that was that one. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. So here's the MJO map, and remember we talk about this a lot, but usually yellows and orange is a suppressed stage of the MJO, and right now we have that. Usually cutting off any chance of storms to develop as far as organized storms go. I mean, man, doesn't affect afternoon storms by any means, as we see these pop-up storms, at least in Florida. Carolina saw them too. As far as organization goes, it brings in a lot of sinking air, and it really just stops the chances of tropical formation. And ironically, a year ago yesterday, we were tracking Elsa. Elsa came across Cuba there on the side of Florida, and I don't know if you remember Elsa or not, but it was possibly a hurricane off the coast of Florida. And then instantly it just went to 1,007 millibars, like snap of the fingers. Like the hurricane hunters made a pass, it was 1,000 off of Sarasota, and then all of a sudden it went to 1,007, and that definitely was because we were in one of these big suppressed stages of that MJO, very suppressed stage. So what the chitter chatter is, this big old phase that's over here is going to slowly start making its way to our side, if that's where you're watching from. So this is an enhanced stage of the MJO. So when this sucker gets here, the end of July into August, definitely something to watch. Doesn't mean we won't get a storm here or there, But overall, when you get these very large waves of that MJO, and it's that's what they do. They cycle across. And here's the U.S. if you're wondering, right here. This is that's Mexico, and you can see the tip of Florida. Little thumb right here. That's Florida. That's Florida right there. Caribbean, obviously. So this little sucker is making its way over and could have a week or two of nothing. We'll see. But don't ever turn your back on the tropics, that's for sure. But that's interesting to talk about because that is coming. It's a strong wave of that MJO. So we'll see. That's more toward the end of the month, early October. This is today. I want to point this out. I was kind of surprised. We got some pretty heavy rain here across upper Gulf here, Louisiana, Mississippi, going in Alabama some. So there's a chance for flooding today. This area here is going to be bringing storms to a lot of our viewers on the East Coast tomorrow and Thursday. But for today, that's interesting. We have some increased rains for the upper Gulf region. And if you look at the 24-hour rain map here, you can see it. This is 24-hour rains. And, could have a couple inches plus right here. So there you go. That's that. Another tropical news. This is from Andy Hazelton. He posted this today. The Euro comes out with seasonal outlooks on the tropics, and in June it predicted like its most ever highest prediction ever for activity, and it came down a little bit. This one just came out for July 1st over the weekend. Still expected to have above average season. Green is above average, orange is your mean, but little less, but still above average. So anyway, European model still on board of an above average season in the tropics. So like I said, August, September, October, that's our time. Hey, what's up, Dale? Tacos tonight, man. Taco Tuesday at the Tap House. If anybody's around, if you're local, come hang out, support some local. We'll be hanging out at the Tap House tonight. My overdue Bill's singing again. My local looks just like Charlie Daniels. I love acoustic country. Good morning, Dave Waters. How's it going? Thank you for chiming in. What's up, Johnny Weaver? Hey, thanks for the stars, buddy. Home Depot has an orange day in July where David Jelly says they already have Halloween stuff out in July. You know what I got. I talk about that every year. Christmas is it freaks me out October 1st or whatever to walk up and go to Lowe's and see Christmas. But you know what? If you don't buy it, when you go to buy it, it's all out. By November, they're already taking down the Christmas stuff because they sold out. It's like, I used to go into stores to feel Christmassy and kind of get some good vibes. Now if you go to any store in November, Christmas is done because they sold out and they're already putting up spring stuff. Grills and just slow down a little bit, man. It's like my dad used to put his head on my, slow down, quit growing. Hey, James, trivia is tomorrow night. What's up, bud? Wednesday night. Hey, what's going on, man? I think I met you over there, right, buddy? All right, so back to tropics. Still above average predicted. This is the latest European seasonal forecast came out. Take it with a grain of salt, This is interesting. This is a long range. This is on my page. I like looking at this one. This is day 3 to day 7. Now, this is kind of a look into the future here. What I found interesting was we got two things. We got heavy rain, 7-9 and 7-10. This is unfortunately the weekend. So, and this extends upwards too. So, could be some lingering frontal lines this weekend we're going to go into. Always looking ahead, but definitely includes heavy rain down in Florida along the Panhandle. And someone, all the way up to maybe North Carolina, Virginia. So could be some rain. This is a long range outlook. Of course, the heat is back. We have excessive heat advisories today. Of course, everybody jokes with me when I post it. They're like, it's summer. I know it's summer, but it doesn't mean we don't have excessive heat advisories. So there's a big chunk of the U.S. under heat advisory. This is an excessive heat. These are warnings. They call that excessive heat warning. So it's hot. We know that. It's hot. Hot. Hot, hot, hot. All right, here's some of this action going on right now happening here for our friends in the upper Gulf Coast. This is going to kind of make its way up a little bit today. That's all from a lingering line here. Let's show you that. This is, it's not really anything, actually. It just flow around this high, pumping in some Gulf moisture. All right, so here's tomorrow. This is interesting to talk about. This is happening tomorrow. So we got this flattened out frontal line. Here's tomorrow. So we have a frontal line. It's just kind of draping right here the next couple days. It's just hanging out. But look, we got storm chances all the way to the East Coast tomorrow. And they're going to stretch down into South Carolina tomorrow. So we got a lot of people watching. That's, something to watch. And then on Thursday, even more chances here for severe storms to watch. So that's 2 days. We get a lot of people, of course, a lot of folks on the East Coast. So let everybody know. Could be stormy the next couple of days. Not really showing any tornado threats. Mainly strong winds and hail. They're not really talking about tornadoes. Damaging winds mainly. So thunderstorms popping in. Yellow usually, they don't mess around. Usually when it's yellow, slight chance. I got the cheat sheet here, by the way, if you're ever curious. People always ask me what the colors are, but I got that on the site, so you could go check it out. Short-lived, intense, scattered. There you go. Good morning, Buck Hunter, I assume. Heat is above average. Yes, Stephen Best. Atlanta coming up this weekend. Oh my God, we'll talk about that here in a second. Ogwa's ready for the snow. I got the radar above my head or satellite. There's really nothing to show, honestly. I guess we can zoom into. Wow, look at that big old burst of storms right here coming. I guess we can leave that up. That's pretty intense looking. This is that frontal line. It's just hanging out, kind of just stalled out across the upper U.S. And we could have some good storms today, actually. I think we got an enhanced. We do. So there you go. That's the storm map for today. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux City, Iowa. Mitchell, South Dakota. I don't even know these towns. Mitchell, South Dakota. Pierre, South Dakota. Yankton, South Dakota. I feel guilty. I've never heard of any of these cities. Mitchell, South Dakota. Pierre, South Dakota. Yankton, South Dakota. I've never heard of them. Flyover states. Hey, Cinder, you didn't really miss much. There's really nothing to talk about. We got storms kind of brewing, heat in the middle U.S. Let's take a look at the HRRR. We got that running now. We can take a look at rains today. It's been pretty much, it's been very accurate. It's this time of year. This HRR is a very useful tool. It predicted the storms yesterday across Florida that went across state into the Gulf. Today, here's our storm. So today we basically got rains and storms here, the upper Gulf Coast. They kind of push themselves up from that high pressure. You can see the flow today. So there you go. This is today. There you go. There's storms. Could be some strong ones. That's pumping in from that Gulf of Mexico. We had a high pressure kind of over us, which is helping that clockwise flow here, blowing in storms here. So that's today. That also probably means the flow across Florida is like that. So let's take a look. I'm sure that's probably what we're dealing with today. Looks like it. We are. So there you go. There's your afternoon Florida storms today. That means the East Coast, because we have high pressure parked above you, not a lot of action on the Florida East Coast today. Most of this today is middle of the state, middle of state, and they're going to flow towards the Gulf here. So there's our flow pattern today. Afternoon storms, and then tomorrow, radar really hasn't run yet, but here's these storms. Look at that. This is the beginning of tomorrow. There's that line. So tomorrow, this is what we're watching. This whole area here is pushing into the East Coast tomorrow. So there's that incoming action tomorrow. And it's pretty cool to watch this because everything is kind of doing that. These are going this way. These are going that way. Pretty neato. So there you go. All right. So we talked about that. I like to look ahead. What's up? Let's look at what's going on this weekend, and then we'll slow down a little bit. The pirate model. James says the Midwest is going to be fried. I can believe it. It's so dang hot, man. It is amazing how hot it is in the morning. Julia, you're right on the boundary. See, we live kind of on a preserve, and it all starts. You can see it's like the clouds start right here. And depending on the flow and the positioning of our high pressure, either that flow goes east or west. But it all starts with the big preserve. And I'm telling you, it's because we have this massive preserves. I'll show you here. And it's really neat. So right here, you kind of see it. I'm going to go back a little bit here. So this area right here is all preserves. And really our sea breeze sometimes sets up like right here. But this whole area right here ends up getting storms. And there's a bigger one up north. You can see the way that they designed all this, keeping some nature areas open. But it all seems like it starts about right here. And depending on the flow, it either goes that way or this way. There's been times that we took the boat out, and I believe in that HRR so much because it really predicts the sea breeze boundaries, that we had thunderstorms firing up big time right here, and I'm taking the boat out, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shh." And the boat ramp was empty because everybody's leaving because they're seeing these big thunderstorms. But everything went that way, and I look like a hero. I wasn't a hero at our Canopy Oaks. So everybody was in a tiki bar, and I'm like, it ain't gonna rain. And then it rained for 4 hours. And the reason why I was showing a guy there at the bar because of this. Bay News 9 has a great graphic. All this moisture in the atmosphere, bubbling, no dry air. So anytime you get this much moisture in the air, and when it's moist and it's juicy, it's very moist. See down here, moist, very moist. Whenever it's very moist, you get a lot of increased rain chances. Now that MJO, that's different. That's pretty much for tropical development. It doesn't stop afternoon storms from popping up. It really takes a frontal line or something to come down and bring in some dry air, and we don't have any right now, so we have a lot of moisture in the air. This is a good map. This one shows you that too. There's all this blues are just this is dry air, yellow. So this whole area right here is dry air, and that's really choking off anything in the tropics too. So a combination of sheer, dry air, dust, just not very favorable conditions in the Atlantic right now. Now these little guys here, you never know, but the flow is so strong, like we saw with Bonnie, that they're just going to end up going into Central America. Bonnie was dealing with some incredible forward speed. It was she was trucking along at 30 miles an hour. This is your shear map, by the way. A lot of wind shear down here. So Bonnie was trucking along 30 miles an hour, almost impossible to get going on anything. So anyway, have a great day. Keisha, good morning. Thanks for tuning in, even though there's not a lot going on. So anyway. All right, hey, let's have some fun. Let's talk about two things. All right, so this is always neat. So let's, this weekend coming up, let's see if I got everything else I wanted to look at here. Yeah, so here's our graphic I have on the site. Let me show you this one real quick. So it doesn't come up very good because it's small, but if you didn't hear, so this weekend I posted a nice shot of Sarah, but the fine folks at Habana Bursa here they're actually here in Daytona Beach, Newsom, the Florida East Coast. Anyway, they are sponsoring a NASCAR, the Xfinity race this weekend coming up, and they're going to have our logo, Mike's Weather Page, also on the race car. So we are going to be featured on a NASCAR this weekend. I'm going to be up there taking pictures, doing some video. I think we got a live video we're going to do with the driver, and that's going to be amazing, ton of fun. I don't know the exact schedule yet, but the race is Saturday, and if you are a NASCAR fan, definitely tune in and see if you can see us as we are on a race car. Here's kind of what the car is going to look like. Let me pull this up here. So this is kind of exciting. That's not the exact car, but it's going to be close, and so pretty cool. But hey, living in Florida, I figured it'd be great to have a new supporter on our page, because it definitely ties into weather and sun care. So they gave us a great code, MWP25. You can get their stuff online, and it's reef friendly, so use it up. Thank them for featuring us on their race car, and it's how the world works. It's like Little House on the Prairie, man. We're trading chickens here. Definitely can't wait. So MWP25, get 25% off. And Emily used the tanning spray this weekend and loved it, by the way. My little redhead likes to use tanning spray because she's white-skinned, as redheads mainly are. So she actually liked that a lot. So anyway, we'll be doing that. I'm leaving Friday and heading up that way. So you'll probably be seeing some lives from the NASCAR race. We're going to be interviewing. I think we're going to talk to the driver. Driver's Bailey Curry. It's JD Motorsports' car. It's pretty cool. I grew up with NASCAR. Absolutely love it. And my mom and dad used to drag me along to the Charlotte 600 back in the early 80s. I remember that as a kid. Went to 600 every year. And me and Julie's went to Talladega in 2000. And we actually saw Earnhardt's last win. So that was a memorable day for me to see Earnhardt's last win. We camp out every year at Talladega, as you guys know, and it's good. So it's been a big part of my life growing up. So it's gonna be fun. I haven't been to a race. I don't think we went to a race last year. Yeah, we went to Talladega last year. I forgot. It was the year before. But anyway, so that's exciting. The other stuff, real quick, before we go, is the cruise. We had a couple more bookings of the cruise over the weekend. Did this last year. Don't talk about it a lot when there's tropics, so we'll talk about it now. But we had a ton of fun last year. This will be our second annual. Good friend of ours is our cruise director, Travel Max, top 10 ranked travel company in America. Travel Max, and they are doing a superb job. Everybody that's needing help getting their cruise booked. But it's a great little party. We're doing a weather seminar on the ship. Shelly's working on the certificates. We're going to be handing out certificates of completion for 2023 hurricane preparedness. So you'll get an official 2023 hurricane preparedness certificate, and it'd be cool to frame. Or if your job depends on weather, then it's full of great information. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But it's funny. The more I talk to people and fans, a ton of our followers are cruisers, and a ton of our followers are campers, and a ton of our followers are NASCAR. So, yeah, our Furman buddies are going. The Coastal Claims, Frank hopefully can make it. Jason, ABC, being here in Florida is going to be a part of it. So a lot of fun. Can't wait. So anyway, that's about it. You guys got any NASCAR stories we can chit chat about? Charlotte is definitely the home of NASCAR. There's no doubt about that. I remember my dad had an opportunity to buy some of the condos when they came out, and he didn't. Now they're probably worth a bazillion times more than what he was going to pay for them back then. But yeah, we have a crazy good time. And kid-friendly, 100% kid-friendly. We're going to Coco Cay, and we're going to have fun stuff for the kids. Shelly and her family did the ducks. We'll be doing some ducks, hiding the ducks on the ship, giving away prizes for finding ducks. We're going to do a scavenger hunt on the Coco Cay. We'll probably have an unofficial party at the Red Frog. I think that's called Red Frog. I don't know, the bar at Bahamas, the one everybody goes to. We did it last time. It was quite entertaining, actually. Jason from Coastal Claims led the convoy, or what do you call it? Everybody kind of danced along, and it was funny. So that's what we got to do. We got to have a NASCAR race on a cruise while camping. But anyway, yeah, definitely check it out if you're. It's next March, by the way. It's during spring break here on the Florida coast. I don't know about your counties, but it's spring break for Pasco, Pinellas, and Hillsborough, which is great. I don't know what else we talk about. Just kind of in a lull. Just it happens. Colin came and gone. The interesting thing, I guess, one thing is kind of interesting how hot the water's getting. Doesn't mean anything. I don't ever claim to be a climate guy. I'm not a climate guy, but I just point out the fact that the water's hot. The Gulf, we had these persistent high pressures over the southeast and the south, and the Gulf got really hot. I don't know if we're still in June here. There we go. June. There we go. So there you go. The end of June, the waters were already 32 degrees Celsius along. That's 90 degrees here along the upper Gulf Coast. So it's normal, I know. But overall, your anomalies are still way above normal. These are Celsius. So, anything white's neutral, but anything, orange is 1 degree. This red is like 2 to 3 degrees above Celsius, above normal. Will it mean anything? Who knows? Definitely helps get things going. Here's our updated ocean heat content map. Definitely getting some darker colors now in the Caribbean. Generally, that's August, September colors, so heating up fast here. The water... That's how hot the water is below the surface. So that's new. That's showing up a lot more heat potential. And really, this is the area that you watch for the later season stuff. East Coast has had a pretty big break lately. Our high pressure has been so strong that most everything's been just coming along, just keep on trucking. Even South Florida. Talking to a bunch of EOC folks down at the Governor's Hurricane Conference, and they all feel like we're due. It's just been a while. It's been a while since Florida East Coast and Carolina seem like they've had anything big. They've had skirts. Isaiah, Matthew was a skirt. Dorian stopped, if you remember right. But, yeah, we'll see. What are we talking about? Sand? How does sand get in the beach? I don't know. Conga line. What the heck's a conga line? Oh, conga line. Everybody, you guys are ahead of me. Is that what it's called? Conga line. Lord Andrew, good morning, man. Oh, Lord, it's not too bad. It's actually, man, the way hotels are right now. How can hotels cost so much money? I don't understand. Their costs are not anymore. The hotels are already built. They've already paid off, their fixed costs. But, man, rooms, $250, $260, $300. And they don't even give you sheets anymore. You got to beg for towels. $300 a night. So if you go, honestly, like 5 nights in a hotel, man, that's free. That's like $2,000. So you might as well do a cruise. All your food's included. Dorian was weird. Yeah, well, it was terrible for the Bahamas. It just stopped. I mean, we had a blocking high pressure pattern. And just like that, Dorian had nowhere to go. It just hit this big high pressure and just stopped. It took a while for the high to back down. And once this high rolled away and basically opened up the door, once that high moved on, Dorian was able to find a hole and took off to the north. But it was a weird system. Nobody could. Everybody sat glued to the. At one time the NHC. Let's look at the archive. By the way, I always like looking at the archives. Oh, archive Dorian. You can go back and look at the graphics. Not that one. Slide it into my bar here. All right, so here are your graphics archives on Dorian. So Dorian, here's your 5-day cone. All right. So here's Dorian. Dorian. At one time, Dorian was expected to... Does my thing work? Oh, it does work. All right, cool. So one time it was expected to cross over Hispaniola and turn into a depression. As they do. As I was at DR and Haiti, I witnessed the clouds below the mountain lines because the mountains are huge up there. So originally, look at this. Depression expected for the Bahamas because it was expected to cross over after, hurricane to depression, H to D, because of the mountains. But you remember what it did? It kind of skirted the gap here. Very odd. It kind of made a little S. And it kind of missed the mountains. And at one time, unfortunately, it looked like it was going to go through the state of Florida. So everybody was watching. Look at this little ziggle-zaggle thingy. It went like whoop, whoop, whoop. So Dorian, how do I get back up here? I gotta click here and then I can do it. Nope. Come on. Why I lost my clicker? Come on. How boom. All right, now I'm back. There, I'm back. Okay. All right. So Dorian here was expected to be a storm, East Coast Florida. Little wiggle through the passage there, and then the intensity kicked in. Look, it was clear then that Dorian wasn't going to hit Hispaniola, and boom, H. And of course, it kind of missed everything. It went over Puerto Rico there. Hurricane warnings were up for Puerto Rico. Did that little wiggle through, missed the Hispaniola. There's our major hurricane. Oh, gosh, it was right there. And at one time, they expected it to actually be over the state of Florida. This was 2019. Major hurricane. Landfall. This is right over Shelly. Shelly, you must have been worried out the yin-yang. God, remember, we had 44,000 people watching during Dorian. But watch the line get tight now. And then all of a sudden, but they still had it over Florida. But see, this is where it's so important. You can't focus on that center line because the cone was on both sides of the state. And they tell you that anywhere the cone is where the center of the storm can go. So they were right. It's just everybody focuses on the center line, and you're not supposed to. Such a difference, you know? A 40, 50 mile wiggle, and it didn't make landfall. And there you see it started shifting a little bit, and then there it sat, and there, what a difference! What a difference! I mean, it just, look at that. Just, I think it officially did touch Ocracoke, right? But wow, what a history there watching Dorian. We still had hurricane warnings up for Florida. Not really sure how bad it really got. I know we had a lot of beach erosion. But wow. Yeah, so hey, you know what? That's why people stay glued, man. Because, I mean, look at how things changed. At one time, almost straight through the state of Florida. And then it shifted. And this was August 31st, the same weekend as Daytona. I posted a memory yesterday. 3 years ago, we were at we were at Daytona for the NASCAR race, the July 4th weekend. Man, it's so sad that they moved the date. Sad. It was such a tradition to go to Daytona July 4th. Kids are out of school. They had the biggest fireworks display on the planet. Well, not on the planet, but I think at one time they said the biggest in the U.S. It was awesome. And then they move it. All of these poor people came to Florida and had timeshares and condos, and now it's the end of August. Kids are in school, and it's during peak hurricane season. Don't know what to tell you. Matthew, Chris, I remember Matthew too. Let's look at Matthew. Matthew was another stressful storm. Matthew skirted the Florida coast. I actually talked to someone this weekend that was flooded, that lived on the intercoastal, and he was telling me that they had a lot of damages from this is the old graphics. Look at these. Remember these old graphics? God, remember, this is flashback. Flashback. These are the old graphics. This is Matthew. So Matthew was 2016. And it was a major hurricane up through Jamaica. I'm sure John Ferguson remembers this. We have a lot of folks in Jamaica too that watch us. Mark Hall, the Rays. Man, what's up with the errors, man? That second baseman, too. Not only that, they lead the league in base running errors, or outs. Stop trying to steal bases. Simple fact. But here's Matthew. Matthew, at one time, look at that. Florida was barely in the cone at one time. Major hurricane. Look at that. Man, that was a massive hurricane. Major hurricane. 130 mile an hour winds. At one time, Florida barely was in the cone. This is 2016. This is Monday, so a week out, Florida wasn't even in the cone. And then the Bermuda high pressure kicked in. And look at that. Back in the cone. And I'm sure we were under hurricane warnings. Oh, hurricane warnings. Look how close it got. Now that was a little more tighter cone. The high pressure, I do remember, started building in a little bit, and that's what shoved it closer to Florida. But never officially the line was in Florida. Got pretty dang close. Man, that would have been amazing. If you imagine this sucker skirting up the coast like that. Man, I forget how everybody, that was a stressful time there too. That could have went right up the coast. That would have been terrible. What it did bring, even though it didn't go in, is it had that constant counterclockwise flow. That's why a lot of the intercoastal areas had a lot of damage. It's because we still had the winds wrapping around the top side. But there you go. It stayed right off the coast, just barely. Look at that little loop. I forgot about that loop. I don't think it ever did that, did it? It fizzled out. Oh yeah, it fizzled out. See, what the heck, man? That was terrible. So at one time we had to loop them back. I remember that, and then all of a sudden it died out. Actually, it ended up going north to Bermuda. Man, oh my God! And it totally didn't do what it was supposed to do. So that was at one time it was supposed to loop down here. At one time, and then it didn't. It went north. That wasn't good. Models didn't do very good on that one, but anyway, I remember that. That was a long time ago. 16. Geez, we're almost. That was 8 years ago. Ian Campbell from Jamaica. Hey, yeah, we were just talking about you with Matthew. Cool, I appreciate that. Matthew definitely messed up Jacksonville. What's up, Travis? Yes, it did. Isn't that the one that I think the St. Mary's River flowed the opposite direction? Like maybe one of the only times ever. Well, it did it the other day too. But St. Mary's flows north, and Matthew actually pushed water south, and a lot of the folks along the rivers got flooding. Florence Cliff, oh my God, I'd never forget Florence. Florence is the storm that was a Category 4 out in the Amanda, millions of dollars, Patrick's Air Force Base. Matthew is the one with the evil face. Yep. Let's not talk about them Yankees having Mill. Florence was the Category 4 that Irma did that. Okay, Travis, sorry. I forgot. It was one of them storms. Irma was so big. Irma had massive flooding in Savannah, Brunswick, Jacksonville, because it was so wide and large that it actually produced some more damages on areas that totally had no idea. People evacuated Irma to Savannah and Brunswick, only to wake up to find out their cars were flooded. Go figure. You evacuate Irma north. Met a lady and her family that woke up. Literally, their rental car was flooded at the hotel because they evacuated. Like, nope. St. John's. God, I messed two things up. Hey, 2 for 1. St. John's, not St. Mary's. St. Mary's is a town in Georgia. My buddy lives at Troy Meredith. I always get him confused because St. Mary's is a little town in South Georgia. St. John's River. Loretta Reed. Thank you. But I got the North Flow right. Back to Florence. So Florence was a 4 that ended up being a 1, and every news headline, it irks me. Downgraded. Not Matthew. Florence weakened. Florence weakened. Florence weakened. Top of the headline. Breaking news. Florence now 2. Breaking news. Florence downgraded to 1. It ended up being a massive flooding event that they just blew it off. If it's not a Category 5 or 4, I don't think they talk about it. when water and flooding are the biggest issues with storms more than anything. It's not so much the wind. But anyway, so that's about it. I don't know. We talked about an hour. I'm going to work on a picture today. I got I brought my hammock with us, but there was nowhere to tie it up. We weren't allowed to, I mean, you're not supposed to tie to trees anyways, but so if we go to a campsite and everybody's tying to trees, then I'll tie to trees. But they didn't want us tying to trees, so I couldn't do the hammock job. But I got some old pictures of me in a hammock. So I'm going to put together our BOGO. I'm going to put together the hammock picture today. Furman's going to be doing a free giveaway to Mike's Twitter page fans, which is awesome. So they give away 4 or 5 generators a year to our supporters and our fans. So that is amazing of them to do that. So watch for that post. All you got to do is post a picture of you in a hammock or anybody in a hammock. The name that posts it's the one, that gets thrown into a hat. So if it's your kids or something, fine. But that's going to be great. They're going to be giving away one of the tri-fuel generators, which I have and love. I share it a bunch, but it's a phenomenal unit, especially if you have natural gas, which you can run it endlessly with natural gas. It's great. Propane is always a great option, and of course gas. So maybe I'll get that posted hopefully today, and we'll start having some fun with that. But yeah. Hey, Jamelia Rooney, how's it going up north? St. John's River. Yep. Not St. Mary's. Where is St. Mary's, by the way? I remember driving by it. By the way, I'm going to be driving St. Mary's, Georgia. I think that's a little town. Let me find it on the map here. Kingsland. There it is right there. Outside of Jacksonville. So, where the heck did it go? There it is right there. St. Mary's. There's my buddy lives. Right at the Florida-Georgia line. So we're going to be at the Nascar. I'll be hauling booty up 75. Tifton. Never speed in Tifton. There's always cops in Tifton. There's always cops down here in Valdosta too. Well, actually, if you've driven, I've driven a bazillion times. As soon as you cross into Georgia, every mile marker there's cops. It doesn't matter. I used to have a CB, man, and the truckers were always the best. They would always warn you. How's it looking over your shoulder? Julie needs a generator. Well, I tell you what, need to find a hammock, take a picture. National Hammock Day is the 22nd of July. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so there you go. Let's saw weather in a nutshell. Let's finish it out with that. Let me find a good picture of the map here of the I don't know a good map I can use here that we can draw on. This might be good. I don't know. Kind of showing you this one a little bit. All right, so here's the pattern. There's our big high pressure system shoving up moisture here towards the upper Gulf. So today, storms going to be brewing upwards to watch out for today. Heavy rain, that's today. Storms in Florida starting here, going west today. Tomorrow, this big old frontal line is going to be making its way and providing storms for Wednesday and Thursday. So storms to watch out for basically here tomorrow and Thursday. And that frontal line eventually is going to make its way southward. And this weekend, we started to do that. We're going to see increased rains. Let's go to tropical tidbits here. Look at the southeast, and you're going to see increased rains from this frontal boundary. Here's Friday. There you go. This is Friday. Saturday. This increased rains. Hopefully south of Atlanta. and then there's Sunday. So 3 days, man. There's just, heavy rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Stretching. Just as that frontal system just kind of lingers. So 3 days of heavy rain getting into the weekend. And you can see that with the front here. The frontal line is just going to kind of park itself. Low pressure, frontal line. So, it is summer. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Hey, Chris. The RV survived, man. We made it. All right, we'll be live the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we'll see if anything changes in the tropics. I don't see any areas that look suspicious. Really, nothing really looking suspicious right now. Nothing standing out. Doesn't mean it can't change. But right now, things don't look very active right now. Just nothing. The GFS did show the GFS. This is next Monday. Now, it doesn't mean nothing. GFS is like 0 of, but it is showing a little something next week coming across. But long range ensembles, not even showing it on the Euro. Usually you'd want to see at least one suggesting it. Don't see any. So in 10 days, not really one model here showing anything developing. So that doesn't mean it can't change. It just means right now there's really no areas that stick out like a sore thumb. Go to Caribbean. Here's GFS. GFS is showing a couple of these waves trying to pull up. So there's a couple out of 31, but the GFS is terrible. This time of year, you get all these waves down here trucking along, but usually they just keep on trucking west. Bacon time. Did not have my bacon yesterday, but I might have it today. So, all right. Cool. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks, Shelly. Hope Shelly and the family had a great 4th. It sounded like we did too. Taco Tuesday tonight at the Oldsmar Tap House. And then Phil and I have a meeting tomorrow with a disaster relief company that we're meeting, having a dinner. So that'll be on the agenda. Be interested to meet with them. Yeah. And don't forget to have a great day, Juliet. All right, we'll